Hello everybody, this is Akanksha Singh and I'll be taking you through the entire series of maths and science.
Hey everyone, today we're going to study about transfer of heat. Now, we have gone through heat energy in our previous classes, right? So today we'll be going through what is heat, and then we'll be learning about how heat gets transferred, right? So when someone says what is heat, a layman question as to what is heat, your answer would be heat is something from which we get burnt or from something which we fear, right? But what is heat in terms of science? Now, heat is a form of energy, right? That energy is so much that it lets you burn. That energy is so much that it feels you heated. That is called heat, right? So heat is a form of energy. It can make any substance hot when you keep a utensil, right, on the gas flame. Now that utensil slowly and gradually becomes hot, and whatever is inside that utensil becomes heated as well, right? So that is heat transferring. When you put on your gas, the gas flame is on and utensil is up on the gas flame. Now slowly and gradually you will find that your utensil is growing hotter, right? And anything that inside the utensil is kept will also then get heated, and that will receive heat from the utensil, and the utensil is receiving heat from the gas flame, right? So see how the heat is being transferred. So that is heat. It can make any substance hot. And one more thing, that you cannot see heat, right? You cannot see heat because it is a form of energy. Now, what do you mean by heat transfer? Just now I said, when you put on a gas flame and you keep a utensil on it, probably you are heating a milk, right? When you heat milk in a utensil on gas flame, the utensil first becomes hot, right? Therefore, the gas flame is transferring the heat to utensil. So the hotter part is the gas flame and the cold part is the utensil. So slowly and gradually you will find that the heat is traveling from the hotter body or from the hotter object to a cold object. So utensil slowly and gradually becomes heated. So that is transfer of heat. So often when there are two differing temperature bodies or two differing utensils, so at that time when you heat one, the heat from the one object will then travel to the other object, probably from the hotter to the colder object. And this is how the energy between the object is being exchanged, is being traveled, right? And this energy will travel until and unless the both bodies are equally heated. So we have a diagram here, as you can see. Diagram says there is a hot body. Now this hot body is at higher temperature. Now slowly and gradually you will find that the energy, the heat energy, flows to the cold body. Now the cold body, which is at lower temperature, will now receive heat from the hotter body, right? So this is how heat will get transferred. Now, methods of heat transfer. There are various methods for heat transfer. One is conduction, convection, and radiation. So conduction, convection, and radiation are three different types of methods of heat transfer. We'll go through them, all of them, one by one. Let's start with what is conduction. Now, conduction is a heat transfer through solids. So just now when I mentioned a metal body, a utensil being kept on a flame, that type of heat transfer, where the heat gets transferred to a solid object, is called as conduction. Now in this method, energy travels directly through the material, right? So energy will travel when the flame is on. The energy will travel from the flame to the utensil, right? And how will it how this actual process is going on, which we cannot see from our naked eyes, is actually molecule collision. So basically, when you heat something, the molecule collision arises, and that lets the other body get heated too. So that is conduction. Okay, so the faster the molecule were, wherever the energy was higher, at that portion, the molecules were at a faster collision rate, right? And uh, where you had the cold surface, there the collision was almost nil. But when you transfer heat, what happens is whatever molecule is vibrating at a very speed will then transfer the heat to the molecules that are slower in speed. So, and that transferring of heat will continue until all the molecules are vibrating at a same collision, right? So that is called as conduction. Now, let's move ahead. I have taken up an example here. Uh, Let me show you by a diagram. Now, here you can see there's a candle made, and we are actually heating the metal rod. Now, this metal rod was originally not having any heat, but when it comes into contact of a flame, it gets heated, and the heat slowly and gradually travels till the end. If you're holding a metal rod from here, you will, after 5 minutes, realize that heat is traveling to your hand also. And probably after 10 minutes, you cannot hold that rod because it will become very heated, because the heat is being transferred from the uh, flame to the metal rod. So this is actual conduction that is happening, because here the metal rod is the solid object through which the heat is being transferred. Next is convection. Now, convection uses the motion of fluid to transfer heat, right? So up till now, we're talking about gas flame. Gas flames above, we have a utensil which is getting heated. But what about the liquid that is present in the utensil, right? Now, when the heat gets transferred from the utensil to the milk or to the water that is kept in the utensil, that water will slowly and gradually circulate its motion to make the entire water quantity or entire milk quantity to be heated at a equal space. So now that is called convection. So a typical convective heat transfer, or a hot surface heat that surrounds the liquid, which is then carried by the fluid movement, such as wind, right? So like a wind, the circulation of heat in the liquid also follows. Always remember, the warmer liquid will get replaced by the cooler fluid. So when the heat is there on the utensil, the water at the below level or the milk at the lower level will first get warm, and the moment it gets warm, the above milk that is there will then be replaced by the warm liquids fluid. So warm fluid is always lighter and cold fluid is always heavier. Therefore, the circulation of warm and cool liquid will continue to happen until and unless the entire milk or the entire water is at the same temperature. So you can say the hotter fluid expands and becomes less dense and therefore rises, whereas the colder fluid sinks because it is more dense, more heavier. So I can show you the diagram. So this is the gas flame that we have, and this is a saucer pan that we have put on the gas flame, and there's a liquid inside it, maybe water probably, and we are heating the liquid. First, you're heating the utensil. After heat is transferred to the utensil, the heat from the gas flame to the utensil is conduction, and heat that is traveling within the fluid is convection. So, see how the convection current is flowing. The warm water is going up, and the cold water is coming down. It is descending, right? So, this is convection. Now, moving to radiation. Now, radiation is the heat transfer that does not require a medium, right? It does not require fluid, it does not require utensil objects to transfer heat. It is the only form of heat that is present in the vacuum. Now, let's take up an example. Here, we have burnt woods, which then gives heat. And that heat, as you can see, there's nothing in the mid. Between the fire and the hands, there's nothing available, right? There's no object, there's no fluid. Still, there is heat radiating and making a person's hand hot, right? So, since when you in winters when you actually burn woods and try to warm your hands, that is the process. That is the heat transfer is through radiation in that case. So let's move ahead. Okay, this is the time to do some homework. I've asked certain questions and I want you guys to solve them. And please give me the solutions in the comment boxes. I'll definitely answer those questions um, and tell you whether they are correct or not. Do like my channel, subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.